Hi, everybody, and welcome again to another episode of Tai Chi For You. Tonight, I'd like to talk about a few different things. We're going to have some exciting new announcements coming in, but we're going to talk today about calming the mind. And I talked a little bit about when I say the word relax, it isn't to be just loose. It's to relax the mind. So relax, calm. Don't get too hung up on words. It's Tai Chi is meant to be felt. So you're going to experience it and maybe have a word for it, just like some of the moves that we do. When what makes you remember the move? What word triggers that? So you remember the move and then you remember the next move. So let's get in a little bit about some events. Things are starting to relax a little bit. So I had a good phone call with the Northbridge Senior Center. And many of you folks know that's maybe where you started watching. The class I had there was a live class, and I probably was there at least 2, maybe 3 years teaching a class, and the people that stayed with me, I've had a few on the show with me, and they've talked about how it's helped them so much, either with their balance or just calming the mind, and just overall in general, just a more positive attitude, I know it's helped my immune system. So, and again, depending on what you're looking for, Tai Chi can be a vehicle to get you the results that you want. But I'm going to be starting there. Let me get the right date here because I got another date to tell you about. June 7th. And that is a Monday, according to my calendar. So Monday, June 7th, and the class is going to be at 11 a.m. So if you can make it, we'd love to have you. It's all levels are welcome. So beginners, come on in. You're more than welcomed, and everybody makes you feel welcome there. Whether you're there for Tai Chi or you have a question, or the other classes that are coming down the road here. But you're always welcome there. You don't have to be a senior citizen. You don't have to be from Northbridge. Come on down, check out the Tai Chi classes, again, starting live Monday, June 7th at 11 a.m. Okay, I got that one right. Now, let's back up a little bit. Last Saturday, I did a class outdoors at the Alternatives Open Skies right here in town, just by City Hall, that nice plaza that they have. And we did have the indoor facility if the weather wasn't cooperating, but we were all able to meet outdoors, and we had our distancing and all that. But all that should, again, if you're comfortable and you want to wear the mask, or you want to stay 6 feet apart, that's fine. It's entirely up to you. But weather pending, it's always outdoors in the plaza, and that is going to start on June 9th, and that is at 6:30. So that's a Wednesday evening. We tried the Saturday afternoon. We had a good turnout of a dozen or so, and this is for anyone that's affiliated with Alternatives Open Skies, and friends and family. So some very excited new students that never did Tai Chi before. Some students had, some background of, I guess, just being open-minded about energy work. So that was good, where they were able to tie in their knowledge of Reiki or yoga, any type of chakra healing, things like that. And they could see the not correlation, but something that relates to that while they were doing their Tai Chi moves, where they felt the energy, felt the chi. We made a chi ball, and we sent out some good energy Saturday. So we're going to try it Wednesday evening. So you can, I know it's going to be in their newsletter. I just spoke with them today, so that's why we needed to get the date, and it'll be in the newsletter. So you'll be able to come on down and take a class there. What else do I got going on? Things are starting to happen. The weather's getting a lot better. We're going to try to meet again outdoors at a few locations. So all the good things now. The weather's getting good. As long as you're healthy and you feel like coming down and participating, or just you want to watch the first time, I'm guaranteeing you'll be doing Tai Chi if you just think you're just going to watch. We'll get you to do a few of the moves, because, again, Tai Chi's for everyone. There's no special clothing. There's no equipment, things like that. So, and again, the level that I've taught at, where they've been wheelchair bound or just in a chair. It doesn't have to be a wheelchair. You could do Tai Chi sitting in a chair. Any age bracket. It really doesn't. The whole thing, and again, that's why I want to talk about tonight, where we're going to train the mind to be calm. And sometimes you can calm a child, or a young adult, and just get them in the zone for a good class. Other times it's hard to get an adult, because they can't turn that switch off in their mind, where they're always thinking about work or kids or shopping, or I got to do this or that. We just let it go. So I guess tonight's show or episode, we're going to kind of focus on the newbies, because, like I said, I had a dozen or so come Saturday, and then the senior center, I know I'm going to get my regulars back, I hope. Hi, guys. And we're going to get some new people, because I don't want to say the phone's ringing off the hook, but people are calling looking for Tai Chi. They're calling the senior centers. They're, looking for a class. Their doctor maybe recommended it might help them with their balance or their anxiety. So, again, it's an alternative, and try it and see if it helps whatever you got going on that you want to improve on. So let's begin. We'll talk a little bit about what we do in class. Well, let's back up a little bit. You should have some sort of water. I'm doing lemon water. But you want to stay hydrated. And we usually, when we're indoors, if you're outdoors and you're comfortable and you want to go barefoot, that's fine. It's called earthing. You're able to connect more to the earth. So don't get hung up on things that, whatever you're comfortable with doing. If you you want to practice, you have to stay out of the sun, and you want to be in the shade and doing it. That's fine. We can accommodate. You're in a chair, we can accommodate, things like that. So when we begin a class, and again, it's not just Tai Chi. I know some of the other karate studios or dojos, things like that, where you see the students, they bow in. And they bow into the sensei or the teacher. And it's not so much, or I don't perceive it as people bowing into me because, okay, I know everything, which I don't. But what it is you're bowing in and then stepping onto the mat or into the classroom. And that is an acknowledgement of letting the past go. And the past is just that busy week you had, or just 10 minutes before you got here, and in the parking lot you got frustrated or whatever, like just different things you're bugging you, let it go, and you're stepping in with an open mind for a learning experience or just a blessing or whatever you want to. Again, don't get hung up on the terms of the words that I use. Make it your own. So we can bow in. Again, don't get hung up. You can just bow in like that. Some people, again, the tradition, you make your own tradition on how you feel that you want to bow into a class. So we're here tonight and we're going to learn. Now, let's begin with some of the basics. So I'm talking to the new people tonight. Some of the basics are that shifting the weight. And if you notice, I'm just going back and forth, and I'm not in a rush. And I'm not overdoing it. This is called 70-30. So you might hear someone say heavy foot, light foot, which means that the heavy foot is the 70% roughly, and the light foot's the 30%. And then the weight shifts 50-50 for that little nanosecond, and now I'm shifting the weight 70% heavy, 30%. And the reason for this is it's a foundation move. So we build on this move right here. And one of the ways that it's built is the options. So I'm heavy foot, so I could, step back out of the way. And that's one of the moves where we learn things slow. So I can do a heavy foot, and we do both practice. A lot of the moves are done on both sides, left and right. Or again, the heavy foot, so the right foot can come up, and you can do we do a low kick, sort of like that. But you can, again, whatever style, practice, come around, come out, come around. So we build on this first move, this shifting the weight. Now we're going to add turning the body. And the body, I'm talking about like the torso here. And the arms are connected. So the arms are getting a free ride with this move. Notice how they're going side to side. With the shifting the weight, turning the body. And I'm also coming up and dropping down just a little bit. So breathe in. So just shift and turn. And it takes a little getting used to, because you might be in you haven't calmed the mind enough. You're still thinking about that incident in the parking lot that happened 10 minutes ago. So relax the shoulders. It's not a side to side. It's not a, I guess whatever exercise this is called, the twist. We're not twisting. We're shifting and turning. And it's not how many you can do in a minute. You want to start to feel or see if you can notice some of the chi, some of the energy, maybe starting to flow through the body, or feel that little resistance. Visualize. We're pushing. Just that little resistance. Push, push, push. Good. One of the other principles we talk about in Tai Chi is if one hand is up, one hand is down. Very similar to if one foot is heavy, one foot is light. So Tai Chi is a moving meditation. So we're going to be moving the arms. As this top one comes down, the bottom one comes up. Now watch what happens right here. They both turn and hold the ball. So it's down, up, turn, down, up, turn, and let's add our shifting that weight, turning the body. So see how we built on this? And it sort of reminds me of when you were a kid, you had the training wheels and you would just sort of bend them up a little bit each time. And before you knew it, you're bombing around everywhere and the training wheels are not even, they're hanging on. They're not in contact with the ground. So this is a nice, again, a moving meditation. Let's do 3, 2, 1. Very good. All right. And let's just shake it out a little bit. Let's back up a little bit and talk about the breath. So the breath, you want to have a nice, slow, deep, I don't want to say long, but just try not to have a short breath, okay? Let's break it down and think about how the breathing, how the body works. So there's a diaphragm muscle. That muscle pulls down, expands the lungs to get the fresh air in, and when we exhale, the stale air comes out. So let's just breathe in, and you could breathe in through the nose, out the mouth, or vice versa, or just pick one. Don't get hung up on it. So just a nice breath in. You can use a little bit of sound therapy. We talk about that too in class. So breath in. The other way to notice, and you don't think about breathing too much, but if you put one hand firmly on the stomach and the other one up higher, right here, and just take a few breaths without, trying to go deep or anything like that, and just notice if you're, and we all do it. It's you silly Americans. Everything that we do is not the Tai Chi way, but we shallow breathe. We're just. And sometimes you can hear people breathe like that, and for whatever condition they have, or they've just conditioned themselves to do that. They haven't calmed the mind and had anybody explain and talk about breathing and how it works and how you want that air to go all the way down in and get all that oxygen going and releasing everything, and so all that. But you notice you're just shallow breathing here. It's just coming up and down. The diaphragm isn't doing much. So let's try to pull that air in with the breath in, and this hand's firmly on the stomach, and feel that diaphragm. It's going to expand out the stomach. So that's okay. We're going to have a little Buddha belly. So now you can get your core and do your core exercises here. Exhale and squeeze that air in. Just picture it like a scoop. Now you can hold that. Now we're going to breathe upper. And exhale. And then we release both top and bottom. So breath in. Try it one more time. Breath in. Good. So I was being a little loud maybe, and that would help you kind of see the difference, kind of break it down just a little bit. But one of the things with the Tai Chi and the martial art application is you want to be quiet. So either your enemy doesn't hear you, or if it was as a defense, you want to be, quiet ninja and still be able to breathe and still be able to move and be quiet, or you want to be quiet if you were going to attack, I guess. So what we do is when we practice, there is a martial art application, but it's in the form, but we only think about it in our mind. Just like, all right, let's do this movement. And again, you've seen it before. It's called ward off, where we just come across. You see, there's the shifting that weight, the turning the body. So I'm shifting and turning, but the arms are coming up. And think of it as as a block. So not too many fights happen in slow motion. So when we practice, just like I said it, with piano or golf, you practice slow so you can execute fast. So we just practice the Tai Chi slow, but in our mind, we're realizing exactly what it is. So we want to be grounded, and we want to feel that energy come up, and there's that block, nice solid block. And then we want to sink down, come up, breath in, breath out. And you'll see other martial art forms where they use the sound therapy with a, whoosh, and they I don't want to say scream, but they bring that energy, they bring that, and they throw everything right into it. And now we fold in. So again, we practice everything a lot of the times, both ways, whether it's, a left foot kick, and then we practice the right foot kick. So this is an inside parry, it's called. So again, it could be a block or a punch or a block. And again, whatever the situation is, you got to be quick about it. So we practice, but we practice slow so we can execute fast. I just wanted to mention that point to you real quick. So stay hydrated, folks. It was a hot one today, so yeah. If you're out in the sun, keep plenty of liquids going. All right, so we talked a little bit about the breath. Again, I could do a whole workshop and seminar on the breathing, different breathing techniques. Again, there isn't just one that's it, everybody else is wrong, here's the one way to breathe. But you want to get the basics, and that's the basics of using that diaphragm and getting a full breath in and out and controlling it. And that actually, it calms the mind. It brings more oxygen into the blood. That's where the chi is. The chi's in the blood, the energy. So the other one is just the body alignment. And there's different, we had a Pilates instructor in a few weeks ago, and she talked about how the alignment and some of the things, again, we talked about the similarities, and it was amazing that's how it was, it came across as if it's a good idea for, one thing, it's a good idea for another one. There's nothing wrong with sharing ideas and having maybe your own. And I guess that's where some of the different forms of exercise, it's a little bit of combinations of dance and Zumba and all that. So they use a few, I guess, yoga moves and dance moves and all that. So, all right, so let's get into a little bit of discussion on posture. We use the principle, they call it the golden thread. And the visualization of that one is the crown of the head. And again, not to get into it too deeply, but there's an energy point there, and the chakras and the meridians and how all the energy flows up and out and all that. But we're visualizing a golden thread sort of rising, just pulling. The other thing I talk about is maybe visualize the like the puppeteer guy. Somebody's behind the curtain here lifting me up just to keep my spine elongated. And the bottom half is that where the tailbone is, that's dropping. And if you notice, my knees are a little bent. I'm not trying to stand with my feet together and I guess like a military posture. My feet are about shoulder width apart, maybe a little bit more. Somewhat pigeon-toed in. The weight's more on the pad or like the ball of the foot versus being on the heel. The other visualization could be you're standing on the edge of a diving board and the toes are just hanging over or gripping on nice and solid, but I'm not leaning forward. I'm keeping that spine elongated. The shoulders aren't thrown back. The shoulders are sort of, again, relaxed, somewhat turned in, and the elbows are open out to the side. And this one is called the 5 bows. And the bow is this area right here. See how it's bowed? I'm not tight. So 1 bow, 2. And see if I'm turned in versus I kind of lose the bow somewhat. So I'm down, my knees are dropped into a bow. 3, 4. And this is a great posture for that breathing. And the 5th bow is that elongated spine. The other, if this helps, visualize you have that stool and it's behind you. Visualizing it's behind you and you just want to drop down so you're just barely touching it, just like that. And this is a great posture right here. You could just practice your breathing and you could sort of stoke the fire a little bit. So breathe in. Remember, hold that squeeze. Breathe in upper. Exhale. And relax everywhere. So breathe in. Good. And this move, it's called Tiger Returns to the Mountain. And I show it to you because I'll be saying it a lot, and it's just a way for the class, for everybody to get back on page, same page. So we just shift that weight and we bring the feet in, down. So you could do either foot, I guess, right? Let's try it. And it works both ways. So don't get hung up on that one either. Whenever we're practicing inside, outside Perry, and we want to get into the next move, I just say, all right, class, Tiger Returns to the Mountain. Ha. Good. And just step out and just shake it out a little bit. Good, good, good. All right, one of the other warm-ups that we do, and this is at the beginning of class, I just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about that basic and the foundation moves and how things build on it. But let's just do our ringing the temple bell. Remember this one? And everybody picked this one up pretty fast on Saturday. They did a good job with it. So I'm not moving the feet. Again, you can go up on the toes if you want, but it's more of a, and when I turn, I'm doing a little bit of tapping, getting the chi flowing a little bit, up into the shoulders, arms, sides of the body. Get the back area with the kidneys. And again, this is you're waking up the energy, you're waking up the chi. And you can go a little bit harder if you want. It's not about how hard or how fast or how many you can do in a minute. So let me show you the other version. You can lift up onto the toe, I guess, take the heel off the foot, and you get more of a twist, but don't overdo it. Keep that 70-30 principle. Remember to breathe. Let's finish off with 3, 2, 1. Good. All right, just shake that off a little bit. The other warm-up that we do is called the 500 claps. This is a great one to do. There's a lot of great ones you can do in the morning. Just make a routine for yourself, whatever it is. And the routine, I mean some sort of Tai Chi exercises. So let's do the 500 clap one. We make our little cup with the hand, so we're not an open slap. We're kind of cupping because this is an energy point right here as well. And all up and down the whole body where the meridians and the energy flows, we're going to start to loosen it out. Any stuck spot, maybe you slept wrong and everything was tight when you woke up. So we're just coming up the outside of the arm and we go down the inside of the arm. So it's up the outside, down the inside. And we do both. So it's up the outside of the arm, down the inside of the arm. And if you bruise easy, we talked about this before, you can do a brushing technique. You can brush. Come up the arm, brush up the arm, down the inside. If you feel you want to really wake up, be a little aggressive, and you're ready for some contact sport, and again, you're really packing that chi, getting that feels good on the forearms, all the way up the arm. Good. Then we move down into the leg area where we go down the outside. And it's just, again, it's done this way because this is how the energy flows in the body. Or the way the blood flows. You don't have to be an open-minded skeptic about energy and all that in the body. So, down the outside of the arm. If you can make it around to the ankles and come up the inside of the arm. If you can make it to the knees, great. Come up the inside. If you want to have some options, again, you can do this in your chair. Wake it up a little bit. If you want to use a prop, you could use a table and do one leg at a time, down the outside and up the inside where you can get to the ankle a little bit easier. Or if you want to try something a little bit more advanced, balance and go down and come up. You can practice any one of those. So work our way now to the back. And this is that lower kidney area right here. We want to just drum. We're not pounding. We don't want to damage the kidneys. So we're just waking them up. Getting that chi flowing. Good, good, good. And you just naturally want to just take that nice breath in, breath out. Good. And then we work our way to the front. Get some chi packed right in there. You can do a little drumming. Again, that cupping with both hands, we're packing that chi. And we want to work our way right up the center of the body, right here, right underneath the clavicles. And I talked about this before. These are acupressure points in the body. This is a great one to do. Another breath in, breath out. Just do the upper. Just a nice full breath in, upper. Don't have to engage that diaphragm muscle at all. Now, bring it around, keep tapping to the base of the spine right here, and bring it up the back of the head, and around. So base, right up the center and around. Now, gently under the eyes. You want to get a close up? There's no wrinkles. Look at that, right here. Gently tap. Good. Then take one hand and go under the nose, or right in the center, whatever that spot's called. There's a name for that. Somebody, nurse, help me out. Switch, and on the chin. There's probably a fancy name for the chin too. And then we're going to reach one hand up and we're going to start coming down the side. And start at the wrist and come down the forearm, down the side. You want to get that whole side of the body. Or brushing, brushing, brushing. Down and up. So if you're into contact sport and you want to build up that area where you might get hit with a stick or a helmet, whatever, right there, it's a nice way to build that chi, build that energy right into that spot. Good. On the fingertips. Very good. Get that energy flowing right on the fingertips. Nice. And then on the side of the hand, we're doing it, we call it a karate chop, but you're just, good. And right there on the wrist. Okay, and just shake that up a little bit. And we talk a little bit about the shaking and the tapping and all that. Well, let's back up. With the breath, the pump is that diaphragm and the lungs, and everything's working that way. The blood has the heart, obviously, is the pump for the circulatory system like that. The lymphatic system, which, Google it, look it up, keep it simple. It's sort of the janitor of the body. It pulls any, I don't want to use the word negative, but just anything that's not helpful, that the body's not using anymore or foreign to the body, and disposes of it. So it really doesn't have its own pump per se. The pump is the movement, or the walking, or just the bouncing, or the squeezing and releasing. And that's the lymphatic system. So movement is medication is another saying that's thrown around in Tai Chi. So movement is medication. We're getting that lymphatic system. We're getting rid of flushing out the toxins. However you want to visualize what's happening, but we're staying healthy. The immune system is. We want to help the body stay healthy by, again, just basic exercises. Basic getting enough hydration. Basic getting enough sleep. Basic eating the right foods. So, and all this is done in moderation. You know, you can overdo anything. You can overdo too much water. There's something that's a condition, whatever it was called. You drink too much water, you go into shock or something. And that's what's nice about a live class, the input that you get from the students, because we're all students. We're all there to learn, and I learn off of them. When people bring something to the class, whether it's they have a background in a kung fu or something that they took a long time ago, or they took a Tai Chi class somewhere else, and they can say, this is what helped me remember that move, or help me with my balance, on how they explained it. So it's always great when I'm in front of people and we're able to go back and forth. Remember, there's no such thing as a bad question, however that saying goes. And I was the king of questions when I first started, where probably to the point that I was driving the teachers nuts. But it might have been that question that three other people wanted to know the answer to, but they didn't know how to ask, or maybe they were shy, or whatever the situation. Or that question could lead to something else that needed to be explained differently. Because you can explain something and explain it different ways, but you're explaining the same move or the same subject matter. Anyway, so we did the 500 claps. We did the ringing the temple bell. Let's work a little bit more with that lymphatic system, with the squeezing and the releasing. So we're going to, again, use that in mind. We're here to try to learn some techniques on calming the mind. So one technique, and it's called Freedom Fist. And this is where we have that busy thought or negative thought, or just that thought of an upset stomach or a bad knee or whatever your ache and pain is. So you want to think about that pain, and you want to do a squeeze the fist, and you squeeze, 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 breath in, and then we just let it go. So when I mentioned that, people said, oh, the kids. So if it's the kids, that neighbor, and just let that thought go. Get it out. That you don't want any negative in the body, negative in the mind. You just don't want it. So we released it. We recognized it and we released it. Now we're going to open. So we get the palms back. You don't have to do a whole. If you can do that, that's fine. But we're just opening up the palms. And we take a breath in. We raise up a little bit. And again, it just, you feel better just doing that. You've released that negative thought, and now you're thinking happy thoughts. Maybe the answer to that question that was bugging you. Oh, I know what I'll do with the kids. All right. And good. All right. So just shake that out a little bit. So that, again, that pumping, squeezing, that lymphatic system, all that's good stuff. The other thing I want to talk about with the basics here is warming up is, and I learned this not too long ago, is the body likes to move in circles. And when you warm up, stretching is important, but let's try to do some warm-up circling first. So you can do the hands on the hips if you want, and just gently circle. You can drop the chin, and the mic's always, maybe they're not picking up, I'm far enough away. All the little Rice Krispies happening. And reverse direction. 3. 2, 1. Good. And you can do a variation of that one if you want it. It's just do half circles. And look up to the side. 3, 2, 1. Good. And let's do some easy shoulder rolls. And we go both directions, so whichever direction you picked, that's fine. We're just rolling the shoulders. 3, 2, 1. And I'm keeping the knees a little bent, and I'm keeping that elongated spine. Let's go the opposite direction. Circle, circle, circle. Another variation to this one is arms are out. You can think of maybe like the Frankenstein monster, okay? And we're just going to roll the shoulders this way. 3, And that gets the back, you feel everything kind of, it's sort of like getting a chiropractic adjustment, feels like a little bit. So, and now we'll do our slow motion hula hoop. So if you were going to learn how to hula hoop, I guess you would start off slow without the hula hoop, just to get in the zone, get that groove, feel that. How is it? Again, use your mind, visualize it. Why am I shifting and turning and putting the hip out to the front, to the side, to the back? I don't know if we'll ever have hula hoops and Tai Chi, but I do have a friend that's actually she's a hula hoop master or what, but she's pretty incredible with the hula hoop. 3, 2, 1. Good. Let's drop down to the knees. We don't want to put a lot of pressure on the knees, but the hands are resting on the kneecap, and we could just circle the knees. Again, we're warming them up. You see people, and again, there's some great stretches that people do for their legs. And if you're one of those people that never really thought about warming up, doing circles first, but you always do your stretches, try this theory. Put it to the test. See what you think. Good. All right, come back in and move down to the ankles. Then we're just circling around in both directions. Good. That's the sneaker. That's not my ankle making that noise. 3, 2, 1. Good. And again, a variation, you could be balancing and do both directions. Balance, do both. Okay, good. All right, shake that out a little bit. Oh, let me show you this other one. It's called the 3 mile point. And the story behind it is, back in the old days, everybody walked around, no vehicles, and they'd walk from village to village. Well, if they got tired, they would stop and they'd measure from their kneecap down 2 finger width, and right there at that point, they would massage that. That feels really good. So measure down and massage right in there. And you could do that, that's the point, but you could get the whole around behind the knee and all that. And that is called the 3 mile point. Now they're able to get another 3 miles to the town for the night. So that's the story behind that move. So, all right, let me look at my notes here for a sec. All right. So we talked about, this class is more about calming the mind. One of the ways to do it is meditation. Tai Chi is a form of moving meditation, but we also do another exercise, and it's called hugging the tree. And with that one, again, I'm in that shoulder width stance. The feet are slightly pigeon-toed in, knees are dropped, like that golden thread, the 5 bows. But now I'm going to reach the hands up and just drop the elbows, drop the shoulders. Fingers are almost touching. Good, just like that. As visualize you're hugging a tree. And we just practice our breathing. Right now, the mind is busy. It needs something to do. It always needs something to do. So we're going to give it something to do by reminding it to breathe in and breathe out. Don't worry about what the diaphragm and all that. We're just breathing in and breathing out, because at this point you should be getting that full deep breath without realizing it. And the thoughts, what happens with a lot of people is, it's called monkey mind, where your mind is constantly thinking about things. And if you break it down, in between each thought, there has to be that nanosecond that there wasn't a thought, because the next one had to get there. So that is the true, that's what we want to expand on. And the best way to do it, I find, is that breathing, giving that mind just the breath. Don't have it, take off to the races and start thinking about a million things coming at you. And get yourself a little egg timer, or set your alarm. And we do it for a minute in the class. But I give them homework to try to build that minute up to 3. And it's a great feeling. It really, it does something to the mind. It does something to the breath, the body. You just go for 3 minutes if you can. If you feel you have to get out because your shoulder's starting to twitch, or your knees are getting weak, whatever, just take a breath in. Control down. And then when you're ready, just come back into it. And that one's called Hug the Tree. Tiger returns to the mountain. Good. All right, let's finish up. We're going to do our 3 moves of Qigong. And this one we kind of put together, again, it's a class effort that we put the moves together in this particular way. So we start out, let's start out in the mountain pose with the feet are together. Nice elongated spine. And this is called the Wu Ji position, or translated, it could be the no mind, where we just be present and just be alert, but calm. Be aware, but relaxed. There's no rush. Breathe in, breathe out. Now we're going to step out. So the right foot, make it the right foot is heavy. So we step out and we adjust. And this one's called horse stance. For those of you that are brand new, it's like you were riding a horse. Okay. Now, the hands are going to be out to the side with the palms facing down. Visualize you're drawing up earth energy, or maybe they're on a like a balloon and it's blowing up, or a big airbag or something. So the hands are lifting from the chi coming up from the earth. Nice breath in. And then the hands turn, palms face each other, and they come down. Let's practice that a couple times, because you don't want to get the breath, don't get hung up on it. You can do a full breath in. Next part is up to the heart. Then up to the heart again. This time we're going to roll out or give that energy away. Come back in to reload and back down. So it's up, palms turn in, and take that energy and we're pushing it into the body. It's going where it's needed. and just recycling back out to the earth. Bring it up to the heart. Nice, fill the heart with that nice energy that you just brought in, and do a nice little second rinse, clean, push everything out. So now we bring that energy up, we can just give it away, it just multiplies. In and out. So the last one, bring it up, and just take that energy and place it. Feel it just go down the spine, down, all the way through the body, and just out and up into the heart. And this time, visualize we're going to take that energy and we're going to wrap it around us with a nice big protective bubble. Boom. And tiger returns to the mountain. Great. All right, let's have a seat. It was great having everybody, the new students on Saturday. It's going to be really great seeing everybody in June. Those 2 dates, I'll mention them again quick. June 9th, and that's at the Alternatives Open Skies, the plaza that they have right by the town hall. And if the weather's bad, we do have the inside auditorium. So come rain or shine, 6:30. Again, if you're affiliated with them and you get the newsletter, or you want to call and find out more information. The other one is the Northbridge Senior Center, which is going to start June 7th. And that's a Monday at 11 a.m. That's a great class. I'd love to see everybody there. Until then, it's Tai Chi for you.